Hey, what is happening, everyone? Welcome to the Profitable, Purposeful Entrepreneur Podcast. Today, I want to share the biggest mistake brand new entrepreneurs and even entrepreneurs starting a new venture make more often than not. More importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid falling into the same trap. Are you ready? Let's get started. I spent the last few years building a successful online business while learning from some of the most brilliant marketing minds and coaches on the planet. And now, I've walked away from that business to start over again from scratch. Why? Because, like you, I felt the calling of contribution and the all-consuming need to create a business giving me the freedom to put fatherhood and family first, while fulfilling my calling to share my expertise in order to serve and impact others in a positive way. Join me now as we walk the path together to create the life and business of our dreams. I'm Evans Putman. Welcome to the journey of the profitable, purposeful entrepreneur. Wow, what is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me today for the very first episode of the Profitable, Purposeful Entrepreneur Podcast. I can't thank you enough for giving me some of your time because I know how valuable that time is. And I'm going to do my best to serve you at the highest level moving forward with this podcast. So quickly, I'm not going to get into a long backstory here about the podcast and about myself, because I want to go on and jump in almost immediately and give you some real meat and potatoes, something that you can use today, take away from this podcast, and put it into action. So how does that sound? Sound good? Okay. Real quickly, before we get started, I am going to let you know that I have been in business for a while, and we'll get into my backstory a little bit later. But I'm starting over brand new from square one. And that's the point of this podcast. And I want to let you know that because I don't want you to think that I'm some entrepreneurial guru sitting on top of a mountain talking down to you. It's actually the exact opposite. What's happening now is I've stepped away from a very successful online business to start this new business, my own purpose-driven business. And I'm actually at the beginning of the trail. So you're going to go with me from step one, very beginning of the trail, looking down that winding path, glancing up at that mountain, looking all the way to the top at the snow caps where that flag is blowing in the wind, our final destination. And you're going to walk with me step by step along that way. So I hope during this journey, it will be rewarding for you as well as myself. And that's the goal, to give you as much as I can, to serve you as highly as I can, providing you actionable strategies, tips, stories, anything that's happening along the way as I move along this journey. And I'm glad you're going to go with me. And here's what I want to share with you today. This is a great tip. I'm going to call it one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs can make when they start a new business. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have made this mistake before, and I didn't learn from the first time I made it. I made it again, and I may have made it more times, but I'm only going to admit to two right now. And here's what it is. You must know your avatar. And I know what you're thinking. I've heard that before a million times. This is nothing new. Well, I want to step it back a moment and say it again. You must know your avatar. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you must know yourself first, your avatar, before you worry about your customer avatar. And most people don't even pay attention to their own avatar. They don't pay attention to themselves. They focus on their customer avatar. And I don't blame you. If you've done that before in the past, it's not your fault. I've done it before as well. It's what we're taught all the time. We are taught that, and if you ever hire anybody, I remember we hired somebody once to run our Facebook ads. And the first thing that person did, which was actually really smart, was said, hey, I've got these worksheets. I'd like you to define your customer avatar for me. Let me know who that person is so we can make sure that we can spend your money the best way by targeting the right people, the right prospects. And that makes sense. But here's what I want to tell you. If you do not take the time to know yourself and your own avatar first, you will end up working with the wrong customers and you will be miserable and you'll want to quit. And even if it is a mission that you believe in, a business you believe in, those customers can make you miserable. And I'm going to tell you a quick story about that. Many, many moons ago, one of my first ventures into the entrepreneurial space was to create a personal training business. I believed in it. Personal training, well, not personal training, but working out, changing my lifestyle to one that consisted of regular exercise, eating well, and just taking care of myself overall changed my life at one point. When I was the exact opposite, it flipped my life 180, changed everything. And I thought this was actually my first foray into a purpose-driven business because I had a purpose at that point. I wanted to share what I had experienced, that change, that growth, that healthiness, how my life was so much better. I wanted to share that with others. I wasn't really interested in, hey, I'm going to show you how to get a bikini body, or I'm going to give, hey, dude, I'm going to give you the biggest biceps so you can walk around flexing all the time, or I want to show you how to lift so much weight that your status is increased in the gym and it makes you feel like the big guy on campus. None of that really interested me, that superficiality of the workout world. But here's the problem. When I started doing personal training, I never identified that. I knew inside of me what I wanted to give people, but I never sat down with myself and said, okay, this is my avatar. This is me. These are the kind of clients I want to work out or want to hang out with on a regular basis. I want their reasons why, their why I want to match up with mine. I never did any of that. Instead, I just started doing personal training, taking any client I could get, and I got burnt out really quickly. At first I was on a high. I was loving it. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was sharing my purpose. I was sharing my mission. I was making money at it, the profitable part of the purposeful entrepreneur. All of that was awesome. And that initial excitement accelerated me through long hours, lots of days working for months and months and months. And then all of a sudden, it all came to an end. One day I woke up and realized I've got one client that I like. I worked, and if any of you have done personal training or something similar where you're serving clients one-on-one, you realize you have long days. You start in the morning bright and early. When you're in the gym, you start there 5:30, 6 in the morning with clients. You leave there about 9 o'clock at night. Now imagine that the entire day. I had one person I liked. I'm not saying that I disliked everybody, but one person fulfilled me working with them because their goals matched up with mine. Okay. They weren't there just to go through the motions. They weren't there for a status increase. They weren't there to look better in their clothes. They were there because something had happened in their life and triggered them to where they knew that they needed to make a change, and they wanted that change to be living a healthier lifestyle. Now, if I would have defined that avatar, if I would have looked at myself and said, this is your customer avatar, as in myself, and would have sat down and written out everything, it would have been a much more enjoyable experience. Instead, I got burnt out. I ended up leaving personal training for a while, feeling lost, feeling just more. I didn't want to go in anymore. I didn't want to deal with it. And I did come back later and continue once I was a little more intelligent about my choices in choosing clients. But it was really, it was painful. It was actually very painful to do that. So I don't want you to experience the same thing. And I know whether you are brand new starting an online business, brand new starting an offline business, whether you have been experienced for a long time and you're finding yourself a little burnout, maybe you don't enjoy your clients as much, then what you should do is step back, each of you, step back, define your customer avatars in yourself. What do you want? And go from there. Okay. Then you can worry about, who is this person that I want to serve? And I'll tell you a big tip. One thing that I've found that is really very helpful. I'm going to actually give you two processes, a simple one and a more detailed one. Okay. The more detailed one is actually very awesome. You're going to want to do it. The simple one is this. I sat down with a piece of paper, a legal pad, drew a line down the middle, and I just wrote, these are the kind of people I like, the kind of people that I would like to hang out with as friends. If I was just spending my day and it's like, hey, I met some new friends, these are the people, these would be the characteristics of those people. Then on the other side, I put, these would be the type of people I wouldn't want to hang out. These are their characteristics. And a lot of times you're going to see it's just basically the opposite, but it's very helpful to sit down and put it in that perspective. Like, who would I want to hang out with? Because if you know yourself and then start to do that, you're going to know that those two match up. And when those two match up, then that's when the magic happens. Because then not only are you sharing your purpose, your gift, you're serving others, but you are seeing and working with people that you want to serve. Okay, the other way to do this is, and this is actually very cool, I had a coach of mine share this with me. And you can go, I'm looking real quickly on my computer screen here. You can go to Google and type in Frank Kern's Historic Core Influence Talk. It's pretty long. It's a long video, but here's the gist of it. He gives you an exercise, and this is really, really helpful because this is going to not only help you get to know your avatar, it's going to help you design a business around yourself and what you want your life to look like in the future. So you're sort of future pacing yourself here and looking into the future at what you want your life to look like once you get this business up and running. Okay, so what he does, I'm just going to break it down simply, but I want you to go find that. Frank Kern's Historic Influence Talk. What he talks about and what he gets you to do is to go and write down your perfect average day. And I'm going to repeat that again. Your perfect average day. We're not talking about the day like the perfect of all perfect days. Not like, oh, I just won the lottery and I'm going out on a yacht with all my favorite people. I'm hanging out with celebrities. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Whatever that is, something that's just really not realistic. You want to sit down and write out your perfect average day. So you want to start from first thing in the morning and be as detailed as possible. What does that day look like? What do you do when you first wake up? Do you exercise? Do you go and make yourself a green smoothie? Do you meditate? There's some hints and reasons I'm throwing these out, and we'll get into those another podcast down the road. So, but what do you have for breakfast? Are you sitting around the table with your family? What are you discussing? Do you drive your children to school? What do y'all talk about on the way to school? How does that make you feel? And that's the really important thing, is to get as detailed as you can, but not just to get details like, oh, we talked about this and then we did this and then we did that. And then I went over here and did this. And then I had worked out with my wife. Then we went to lunch. You want to detail not only what you're doing, what you ate, how did the food taste? How did you feel afterwards? What was it like to sit down and have a great lunch with your wife and some friends? What was that like? How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel happy? Continue throughout your entire day describing, what your house is going to look like. Everything from, he even goes into detail about his shower. I mean, like, he has a marble shower with 2 shower heads. It's big enough for like 6 people to fit in, has benches. I mean, he goes that detailed, and it's awesome if you can sit down and do it to where you're that detailed throughout your entire day. How does it go through? How does the day end? What do you do at the end of the day? I mean, it is a really amazing exercise, your perfect average day. And once you do that, that's really going to help you know your avatar. So if I was to take those 2 exercises, now that I think about it, I would do the Frank Kern Core Influence Perfect Average Day exercise first, because that's going to get you really in depth on not only yourself, but what kind of business you want. Maybe you only want to work 3 days a week, and you can do that. You just have to work your business model the right way and make sure that you're providing so much value that you can charge a higher price. Maybe you don't mind working 5 days a week. Maybe you want a business that includes your family. Whatever it is, if you sit down and go through that exercise, and then you come back after you've done that and do the other exercise where you list out, these would be the type of people I'd want to hang out with. Just to give you an idea, for me, some of them, it was like people who are open-minded, people who are seekers, adventurers, people who value experiences over money, people who have a focus on their family and being. I also put like fathers who are devoted to becoming the best fathers they possibly can for their children. So what I did was, when I looked at this, these are the people I'd want to hang out with, but they were also me. So it was almost as if I was listing myself, positive traits, and then the opposite traits. I don't want to really hang out with people that are closed-minded. I don't want to hang out with people who are satisfied working 9 to 5. I don't want to hang out with people who are more worried about spending all their profits from their business on a Lamborghini or a big house to impress their friends. So I knew that once I did that, there was my avatar, myself, and I was able to identify the people I wanted to serve. So those are 2 great tips for you. I hope this helps. I look forward to more discussion on this journey about lots of things. We're going to cover things from mindset to health. And what I'll just put it this way. We're going to cover everything from health, wealth, and relationships. 3 major points in all our lives, okay? Family first, creating a business that serves your clients, creating a business that provides the most impact to the most people. And what I want you to know is that I put the word profitable in there for a reason. And we'll discuss that more. I've got a good rant on that I will share at another podcast. But what I want you to know is that profitable has nothing to do, well, it does in some ways, but really does not have to do with the bottom line, with the money in your bank account. To me and to the people that I'm hoping to help, I want them to know that we can measure our profits in freedom to choose the type of life we're going to live, freedom to choose how much time we can spend with our family, freedom to serve others at a high level and create a major impact in their lives. It's all based on serving others and what we can get out of that. That's how we're going to measure our profits as a profitable, purposeful entrepreneur. So I'm going to let everybody go. And I really, really, really appreciate your time. I've got many more podcasts coming, and we're going to share. I hope that in each one you will get something that you can take from it and put into your life and into your business. And if you ever have any questions, I'm going to have information on the website where you can actually send me voice messages, send me emails, whatever. I will address those questions. I'll address any subjects you want me to. But just remember, We are on this journey together. Okay. We're starting at square one. I hope you enjoy following me along this journey. And I want to read something real quick to you, and then I'll let you go. This is something I have on my Facebook page on the cover that just came to me one morning. And it says, the journey creates the entrepreneur, and the journey is its own reward. The journey creates the entrepreneur, and the journey is its own reward. So remember that. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy every moment. Take each step and just enjoy it. That's it. And I hope to see you soon. Subscribe. I'll have more podcasts coming out soon. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Peace. Have you joined our free online community for profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs yet? What are you waiting for? It's absolutely free. Just head over to Facebook right now. Go to the search bar, type in Profitable, Purposeful Entrepreneurs. You'll find the group. Join us. We'd love to have you in here. The community is great. You'll learn lots of valuable skills, strategies, ideas. You'll meet other purposeful, profitable entrepreneurs of every level, from those just starting out to those who have been in business for a while. And it's a great community, very supportive. Join us today. We look forward to seeing you there.